Hi everybody! I know it's been a few weeks since I've made a video, so I felt really called to make this video today. How's everybody doing? What is it? It's Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday! So this is probably a crazy video. This is the video that I actually wanted to start my YouTube channel with, but I didn't because I thought it'd be too intense for people. But I really had the calling to make this video for a while now, and I keep talking about it, and then today I finally feel called to make it. So, you know, I want to talk about ayahuasca today. Ayahuasca. Yes. I've been called to make this video just because I'm seeing it more like talked about on the media. A lot of like my spiritual teachers are talking about it more openly now, which that shouldn't be a reason why I want to talk about it. Like I wanted to talk about it a while back, but it's kind of a little taboo subject. But so yeah, I felt called to make this video today on ayahuasca and my experience. And this isn't, you know, I'm not telling people to go out and do this. Take it for what it's worth. I'm just here to share my experience and how it's changed my life. So ayahuasca, which no one knows how to spell it. Everyone butchers the name. It's also known as plant medicine, or Aya for short, Aya. Basically the craziest thing I've ever done in my life, but also the best thing I ever done. I really tell people that it has changed my life. I would not be here without plant medicine. And, you know, I'm not going to get too deep into anything. You know, this is something that do your own research and decide for yourself. And, you know, make sure, you know, if you do something like this, you are under the proper care of a shaman, spirit guides, you're in a safe environment. Where I do it, I'm very safe and under the care of a shaman. And it's something that I felt called to share with people. And it might seem a little crazy, but this is a time of really like coming into ourselves, and people are going through their awakenings or further into their awakenings. And for me, this is something that really like saved my life. I am a strong believer in plant medicine. This is gonna be a long video, but I'm trying to keep it short because there's just so much to talk about. It's crazy and cool to see how many people are more into this stuff now. I started doing it a little over a year ago, and people just had no idea what I was talking about. Wasn't something that I could talk about with everyone, and now it's like becoming more popular, widespread. People are starting to really see the effects of something like plant medicine and how it could really improve your life. For me, I know that it saved me. You know, even a year ago, I was just very like depressed and lost and even suicidal at times. I just really felt lost in the world. I felt alone. I didn't feel connected to myself. I didn't feel connected to the earth. I needed help. You know, people do plant medicine for different reasons, but I think the biggest reason is really like figuring out why you're here and your purpose. And we really are all here for a greater purpose. And I think that's why people get depressed and anxious and stuck in life, because they're not living to their purpose. And I know that's what happened for me. I always felt like I was supposed to do something greater in life, but I never knew what it was. I didn't know how to do it. I felt disconnected from myself, my heart center. And so for me, ayahuasca was basically the last step. I been on my spiritual journey for a few years, and I love all the holistic practices that I do. I've tried a lot of different things, but nothing propelled me like ayahuasca did. And it's one of those things that it's definitely the craziest thing that I've ever done, and it's probably the craziest thing that anyone's done, but it's also the most beautiful, and it really makes you appreciate this life and brings you back to yourself. So, you know, I know people are super curious about this, especially right now, you know, with everything breaking down in the world and people are really starting to wake up, you know, that maybe there's more to life than just like living the day to day and going to work and doing these things and feeling this way. Like, you can really feel magical every day. You create your own reality. You get to decide what day you're gonna have. And like I said, by the way, I don't rehearse any of these videos before I make them. Everyone's like, you should rehearse and like write stuff down, but then I don't feel like it's really coming from my heart. So I'm sorry if I say like a lot and run off on 10 different tangents, because I have all these thoughts in my head. So I'm trying to like cover everything, but I'm sliding in my chair too. I'm sitting on 3 pillows because I'm short. So yeah, so I basically, just for me, we all experience pain and trauma in our lives, and they get stuck. The energy gets stuck in your body, and you don't know how to kind of release. We don't know how to get out of that. And then years go by and you're just kind of living like in this rat race, and you're not really understanding your purpose. And I've heard a lot of people say that. I don't understand myself. I don't get myself. And that's how I was too. I didn't understand the things that I was doing. I didn't understand myself. You know, when we're young and we're children, we're these magical creatures and beings, and what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's just, kids have these beautiful imaginative minds, and then over time things happen to us, trauma, and our parents and our teachers and the people around us, we're taught not to be these magical beings and creatures. We're taught, grow up, that's not real life, you have to make money, you have to do this, you have to go to school. And it's not true. The government and the media and all these things like put this in our mind. Again, you create your own reality. You can do whatever you want to do. And I'm really seeing the effects of that now. I've started to create my own reality over the year. I've really stepped into, it's been a journey, my life, but I finally understand everything now. And that's kind of like stepping into the 5th dimension, where I really understand why everything in my life was meant to me, what was meant for me, why I went through hardships, why I went through the things that I went to get to this pure state of bliss. We're in the middle of this pandemic. I'm not going to say the name. We're not supposed to say the name on social media, and I've never in my entire life been happier. I've never felt more connected to myself and my purpose, the people around me, my family. I cried yesterday like 7 times just because I'm so happy and fulfilled in my life. I never thought I could feel, I don't want to start crying. I never thought I could feel this way. And I really owe that to plant medicine. And people are like, well, why would you want to do that? Why do you want to cry and throw up and go to the bathroom? Well, no one wants to do any of that. It's not fun. It's not comfortable. But growth doesn't come from being comfortable. Growth comes from being uncomfortable. Like, I wanted to heal so badly that I would do all of those things. And if it didn't work, I said, well, if this doesn't work, I have nothing to lose. At least I tried, right? And, you know, I did it the one time and I instantly was hooked. And then I kept going back for more. And every time I went back, I got more and more answers. And I had the major calling because of things going on. I haven't been able to do it. I've been having the calling to do it. So that's why this video is so important to me today to talk about this, because a lot more people are being open to it. They're seeing the effects. They're seeing that it's truly helping people. You know, people with PTSD and any sort of trauma, addiction, anxiety, depression, a lot of those things that I had or had, I was able to work through them. I was really able to see and travel back in time and heal old wounds and trauma and connect back with myself. You know, I grew up and I wouldn't even be making this video right now if it wasn't for that, because I was so self-conscious. Living in fear. I can't make videos. I don't like speaking in front of people. I have a tic. I get hives. I get red. I have acne. This is all the crap that I put in my mind for all these years. And that's the thing. We get stuck. We get stuck in the ego. We get stuck and we float through life and just are on autopilot. And we're destined for such greatness. And we just don't know it because we keep replaying these failed scenarios in our head, or we keep listening to other people, and then it just goes into your brain, and every day that's the story that you tell yourself, and you start to get so stuck that you don't even know what to do anymore. And that's what happened to me. Years of this trauma and stress and all these issues, I got stuck. I felt lost in the world. I didn't know I didn't understand myself anymore. I was like, I want to do this, but I can't. I want to sing in front of people, but I can't. I want to make video, I can't. I just kept telling myself, I can't. So it's so hard. Like healing, I keep telling people, healing sucks. It's so hard. I never thought I'd get here. I was connecting with friends the other night, and you know, I believe in spirit guides and things like that. And I was told that I was supposed to take my own life. And I truly believe that. As I said in a previous video, I did try to kill myself when I was 21. I actually went through with it. But I've always had suicidal thoughts because I've had all this stuck energy that I felt like I was supposed to do something so great in the world. I didn't know how to do it. I had to heal myself first before I could help others. And that looks different for everyone else. Like it's different for everyone else. A lot of my friends have been having like aha moments and waking up, and it's so beautiful to see and to connect with those people, because we really all just we really are all one at the end of the day. The law of one, we're all the same person. It's every person that you meet has gone through something that you've gone through. And it's crazy to think there's 8 billion people on the planet. How is that possible? Me and my friends are just experienced so much synchronicity lately that like we're just crying and like hugging each other, because it's like, you went through that too? I didn't know that. Like I thought I was alone. You're not alone. We're stuck in the ego. We're stuck in that inner child and the inner wounds and the inner abandonment issues and the shadows. You can break free of that. And with plant medicine, you're able to do that. You know, we call it getting well, or the purge, the throwing up, the crying, the screaming, the going to the bathroom. All these things are necessary to get rid of all that stuck energy, all that negative gunk that's been built up inside of you. Look at it that way. You're getting it out of your body. You're releasing. Releasing is such a great way to heal. That's why crying, all these things are great ways to heal your chakras, your energy centers in your body. So for me, I'm just such a strong advocate for plant medicine, because I've seen that it's literally changed my entire life. I said, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna take my life. I remember saying that to the boyfriend at the time that I was dating, because the first time I did it, I did do it with a boyfriend, which I prefer to do it alone, because you're really in your own battle. You're in your own, this isn't like, let's all go and have fun, have a good time. No, you're really in your own battle yourself. So this isn't something like, yeah, let's go with friends. And so it's just distractions. And you know, I was hooked instantly to it, because even though it was the scariest thing I've ever experienced, and I saw things, your demons and your shadows and everything that you're afraid of literally comes to life. And it is scary. But when you finally release and let go and you get to the end of your journey, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. You finally start to understand yourself, the things that you go through, even things that happened to you in past lives, when you were in the womb, when you were a little kid, things that you blocked out of your memory. I blocked so many traumas out of my memory that I was able to go back and see and create a new memory, create something beautiful, release it and create something beautiful. And, you know, that's part of like rewiring your brain. All these holistic approaches, it's really up to you. So this just kind of catapulted, it helped me. So it's like a tool. So it's beautiful to see how many like of my friends know, sharing my experience. This is something crazy that people are like, you're gonna talk about this? Like you can't talk about this, but it has to be talked about, because it's life-changing, it's life-saving, it saved my life. I have to tell my friends, I have to tell people around me, because I see people around me struggling. And as a light worker, and now that I understand my path, that I am supposed to help people, I want to help people. And plant medicine is greatly beneficial. I have people that are like, oh, my life is perfect. No one's life is perfect. We've all dealt with trauma. And again, this isn't for everyone, but it's awesome to see how many of my friends like are starting to be like, I want to do this. Even my mom said, I want to do this, because you can see when people have stuck energies. You can see when people are still living in that ego, they're living in the wounds, they're living in the past. And again, I say this all the time, you're not your ego, you're not your shadows, you're not your demons, you're not your thoughts, you're not your past. You are separate from that. You're your authentic self at the core. It's just you have to get to that point. you have to be radiating and emanating self-love. And now that I'm doing that, my life is a magical ride. And I could not have done that without plant medicine. I just have such a calling for it. I feel like I'm forgetting stuff, which I probably am, but I don't want to get too deep, but I've just had such beautiful experiences every time that I've done it. I've been able to release something and forgive the people for hurting me, forgive myself. I was able to go back and mend things with my father, inner wounds with, from being bullied when I was younger, for picking, bad partners, because all of that really is like a reflection of you. And again, like, when you're healed, you realize why everything was meant for you. And the way people treat you is how they feel about themselves at a core level. But reality, we're all one person. So now I'm able to forgive so many people. Like, I love everybody. Like, I see everybody as one. I see everyone as a mirror of a different part of me. So it's awesome to be able to connect with yourself. And I can get back now to that journey that I was on when I was little, and I wanted to sing in front of people and dance and make YouTubes and talk in front of people and help people. I got my bachelor's in psychology. I wanted to help people, but I didn't really do anything with it until, recently. I was modeling, and I said, I just feel like there's a little voice deep down that says, you're supposed to be doing more, but how? I'm afraid, I have anxiety, and I can't do these things. And I just was stuck. I felt stuck in my life. That's why I was so depressed. It had built up all these years, and I see so many people suffering like that. And as an empath, I take on their suffering, and you can't save people, and you can't fix people. People have to want to do it for themselves. And like I said, again, said this in other videos, you have to want to do the work, and the work is not pretty. It's not fun, and it's not pretty. Healing is very scary and ugly and hard. But if you get to that lowest point of your life where you realize, I'm not happy, I don't want to live like this anymore, and I want to live a beautiful life where I wake up every day and I feel grateful and blessed and connected to myself and my purpose here, then this is something that's for you. And I feel like a lot of the world right now is waking up, and they're being forced to do so. And you're seeing more of plant medicine. You're seeing more of meditation and yoga and Reiki and sound healing and things such as Kambo, which I'll talk about in a later video, which is something that I want to do. These practices are really coming back into play because they're being proven to work. Maybe you don't want to go to the doctors anymore and take prescription pills. Maybe you don't want to go out and drink anymore and do drugs and escape your demons. Maybe you want to face the demons head on, and it's time. And when you do, you can make peace with them and then step into this new chapter of your life. And again, it was the scariest decision I've ever made. And it's still, every time I do it, you're never prepared to go in. There's always things that come up that you would never even think were stuck deep down. Every time I go in, you're not really prepared for what you're going to see, because we go through so much as spiritual beings. But again, when you realize that you came here for a greater purpose and you can wake up to who you really are, that's the beauty of it all. And all the pain and all the crying and throwing up and everything that you've been through in your life, it finally makes sense. And that's where I'm at. It all makes sense to me. And I really feel like people are going to go back to plant medicine and seeing that there's more to the world, there's more in life, and we really all came here to feel good and help each other and not judge each other and let each other do whatever career makes you happy, do what makes you happy. There is no judgment. Life is beautiful. And I really hope I'll probably make a video, a part 2 of this. I feel like I need to make a part 2 of all of my videos, but I am just a strong advocate for plant medicine. And I felt really called today because I keep seeing my spiritual teachers talk about it more and more. So I felt a little safer, I guess, to talk about it, and how it's life-changing. I love you guys, and stay blessed. Keep those vibrations high, and be the love that you want, and be the love that this world needs. That's what we all need. We all just want to be understood. We want to feel more connected to each other, and that we're not alone. The things that we go through, like, we go through them so we can remember who we really are and why we came here. And then when you start like living to your purpose, I'm getting chills. You start living your purpose, everything just aligns magically for you. In a year, my life has changed dramatically. I've never felt the love and joy that I feel right now. I'm turning 30 in a couple months. I've never felt like this in my entire life. And it's because I feel connected to my higher purpose, and I'm able to see that now. I love you guys so much. Sending love and light. I need to stop crying. Retrograde.